Facebook Chatbot, a really interesting tool that enables you to send automated messages when you receive comments on your posts. It also enables you to communicate with your followers through Facebook Messenger. So, in order for us to set up this tool in the proper way, we have to first connect our Facebook account to the tool, and I can do so by just clicking here. Since I've been through this process before, my account was connected automatically. But if it's your first time, it's gonna redirect you to Facebook, where it's gonna walk you through the step-by-step process of authorizing the tool to Facebook chatbot to communicate with your Facebook account. Okay. And once that's done, it's a really simple and fast process. You can come here and click on import new Facebook page so we can begin to work on some automated rules and tools. Okay. So I'm just going to proceed by clicking here, and we're here on a page that displays all the pages I have linked to my account that are not actually connected to the tool. And I can also get here by clicking here on pages and clicking on add new page. So the only page I have on my account is this one, which has my name on it. And I can click here on add page so I can sync the page to the tool. Okay. And it's going to populate the amount of active subscribers I have. And I can click here to see all the posts I have as well. And this is the only post I have. And this part will show all the posts you have, so you can select the post that you want to begin working with. I'll select this post, and here I have the option of setting up rules. Okay, I can also get here by clicking on posts to enter and click on the pencil icon below actions. Okay, I can begin by setting up a rule. So let's begin by writing some text. I'm just going to write welcome, and I'm just going to use the tag for the first name, which is this one, okay, and the tag for the last name, which is this one. So whenever I write this, the tool would respond accordingly using the person's first name and last name as they put on Facebook. Okay, now I'm just gonna write welcome person, thanks for liking the page. Okay, this is just an example of how a text would look. And I can also choose the condition in which this message will be sent. I can choose a phrase to type here. So let's say that I'm doing some sort of promo for a book, and I want my followers to comment on a post, something such as along the lines of I want it. Okay. I can choose the criteria for this rule to work. So if I want the user's comment to contain certain words, I can just select consist. If I want whatever's written here to not show up, so if someone chooses to write what's written here, they wouldn't get the specific content I'm offering, then I would choose not consist. If I want this phrase here or whatever I put inside this box to be exactly equal, in order for them to get the message, I could also set this to equal to. And if I want this not to be equal so that they would get the message or the content, I would set it to not equal to. Okay, I can also leave this checked in if I want this to be case sensitive, which means that the person's phrase would have to match all the uppercase and lowercase letters that I included here in order for the rule to be triggered. Okay, and I'm just gonna leave this unchecked. Okay, which doesn't which in practical terms would mean that there would be no condition in order for this rule to apply. Okay, but you can always set this up according to what you want your followers to write. If I choose consists, for example, and I'm offering a free ebook, and I just want them to type anything that has the word want in it, I can just leave it as it is here. And if they write something along the lines, something that contains the word want, they would get the free resource. In a similar way, if I choose not consists and they type a word and they type want in their comment, they would not get the automated message. Okay. This works in a really similar way to the Instagram autoresponder, okay? And I can also choose whether or not this will be delayed, and I can choose the time it'll take for this message to be delivered. I can choose this to enter on, I can leave this clicked in if I want this to enter on second level comments. So the comments inside the comments, and I can also leave this clicked in if I want this to be used as an answer only once. Okay, so once you set up your rule, you can click on save, and you can also add more rules if you want to. Okay, next we'll be looking at paid subscribers. Well, I have a page here, and I can see all the subscribers I have on my page here. Since I don't have any, I won't be able to see. And you can also sort by the pages you have, okay? Next, we'll be taking a look at user groups. Here, I have the option of setting up groups. So I can click here and add a new group. I already have one here. So let's say that I just created a brand new page, and I want whoever likes the page to join a group of early subscribers, and I could do so by creating a new user group here. Okay, by clicking here, I can also see the information regarding the members of that group. Okay, now we'll be taking a look at the messages, which are flows, and then we'll be taking a look at the ways that those flows can be sent. Okay, so I here have the option of importing flows from my computer. I also have the option of importing public flows, which are flows that are already pre-built inside Builderall for you to use if you want to. I have the option of creating folders for those flows, and I also have the option of creating new flows by clicking here. Okay, I'm just gonna create a new one so you guys can see the process, and I'm just gonna choose simple as its title. Here I'm using the interactive flow builder. Okay, we also have the classic flow builder, which I'll be showing you next. They work in a really similar way. You can add new steps by clicking here, and you can choose to rename them by clicking on the pencil icon. If I'm working on the first step first, I have the option of adding a message with text. So I can choose to include tags as well, and I can write my message here. So once you're done writing your message, be sure you hit save changes before you do anything else. Otherwise, the changes you've made will not be saved. Okay. If you want this to be, let's say I have two messages with text here. This will be the first one, and this will be the second one. I'm just gonna hit save and save. And I want the bottom one, which is the first, to be displayed on top. So all I have to do is hit this arrow, and they will be positioned the way I want them to. Okay. Now, I'll be taking a look at the other options we have here. We also can add a message with buttons, which include a text field here. And we can edit the button label. We can choose the action. We can choose this to open a URL. We can use this to start another flow, subscribe to a certain rule, which we'll be going over later on, and so forth. Okay, so we have a couple of options to work with. We also have the option of adding new buttons. Okay, now we'll be taking a look at the message with text, images, and buttons. Okay, you can add an image here if you want, and you have the option of including a title and a subtitle, and also a button. Okay, this works the same as the message with buttons. The only difference being is that you can add an image to it. Okay, and once you've done creating your flows, you can go ahead to the growth tools. Okay, I'm just going to go over a few other options that we have here. By clicking here on this arrow, I have the option of moving the flow I just created to a different folder. By clicking here, I have the option of exporting the flow by downloading the exported file. And by clicking here, I can access the interactive flow builder, which is the tool that I just used. And by clicking here, I can access the classic flow builder. Okay, so here is the first step. Okay, and as you can see, it doesn't have anything on it, but if I were to click here on add message with text, the text will be displayed here. Okay, if I want to add more steps, for instance, this is a really nice way I can organize this and put into perspective how my flows would work. Okay, So I just created the second step here, and as you can see, some people would prefer working on the classic flow builder as opposed to the interactive one. Okay, that's completely up to you and to your needs. Okay, now we'll be taking a look at growth tools. Here, I have the option of creating a new tool as well as editing the previous one I had. I'm just going to use this as tutorial, and I have a few options to work with here too. Okay. And growth tools are integrations with Facebook Messenger. So I can choose this to be a bar, okay, a pop-up, just like this one, just like the one you're seeing here, okay. And this could be a whole page, okay. So it would be the landing page of your website, for instance. If you want the visitor to connect their Facebook Messenger to the tool, then you could choose landing page as well. I'm just gonna go with bar, and here it is. I have a few options in terms of editing. I can, whatever I want to be displayed here on my right, I can just type here. So a video would be a good example for that. I can just hit save and preview so that the changes I made on the left hand side of this growth tool, I can see on the preview. Okay. I can also choose the button color. So this button would change its color, and I can choose to change its size as well. I can choose the background color here and the text color if I want to. I also have the submitted state, which includes the action after submitting. So after the user clicks here and goes through the process of connecting this to their Facebook Messenger, then we could choose to open a submission page or to redirect the user to a certain URL, okay? And if I choose to open a submission page, I also have a few text here that I can edit and a button label and its colors, okay? As far as action go, we can choose to add the subscriber, okay, to a certain group. So let's say I create a group for website visitors, okay? And I can add, let's say that this was the website visitors group. I can just select this here, and I would have them separate. So I would know who went through my website and who did not, okay? And I can also choose a flow to start, okay? So I can set this up prior to this. That's why I went over flows before. And I can choose to add a tag or remove a tag, okay? So I can just choose to add a tag here and say website visit, okay? And that would be it, okay? If I want to. And I can also choose this to be displayed again after a certain amount of days, which I don't usually do. Once all of those changes have been made, you can click on share, and I'm going to be showing you how you can include this on your website, okay? So I'm going to head over to my HTML editor, and I'll be back shortly. So I'm here on my HTML editor where I'll be showing you guys how to paste that code onto your head tag, okay? I can just click here on my layouts, select the layout I'll be working with, and I can select here the gear icon. And if I scroll down, I'll see the scripts page, and I'm just gonna paste that code here, okay? So that the bar we just created will be shown on my website, okay? I can proceed by saving the changes, and all the changes I made will be reflected now on the live version of the website. If I go back to my Facebook chatbot, I can now close this, and whatever I made here will now be available, okay? Next, we'll be taking a look at broadcasting. The way broadcasting works is we can create a new one by clicking here. I'm just gonna tutorial, okay, and I'm gonna click submit. And it works in a really similar way to the flow creation process. The only difference being is that I can add a message with media files, including video, okay? And by clicking here, I can also choose to upload the file to Facebook if I want to. And by clicking here, I will start by broadcasting the message I just created, okay? And I can choose to send this to a certain group, okay? As well as use notifications such as those of the push type, okay? Now we'll be taking a look at automation. I'll begin by selecting the page that I will be working with automation, and I have a few options here. I can choose a default reply, and when I select this, I can set up a flow that will work as my default reply, okay? So let's say that I select the automation default reply option. I leave this enabled and someone just sends a message to my Facebook page. I can go to flows and create an automated response. And by selecting that automated response here, whenever the person sends me a message, that will be the first reply. That's an interesting way to use the automation, okay? I can also create reply rules. So by clicking here, I have options that are really, really similar to the rules I created on the post, okay? The difference being this works for the Facebook Messenger, and the post would be rules to apply to your Facebook posts, okay? So those rules would not be applied here, but they do work in a similar way. If you compare the rule types, they're exactly the same. So I can choose a phrase that the person would have to write in order for this rule to be applied and for it to work. And you can also choose flows to work as the automated response for that specific scenario, as well as add or remove a tag when this rule is actually activated, okay? So once that's done, we can just click on submit, and we have the option of creating a welcome message, okay? As simple as that. Now we'll be taking a look at scheduling, okay? By clicking here, I can choose the schedule name and I can choose the role type. I have 4 options here and I'll briefly go over each one of them. Here on send and date, I can just choose by clicking here on the pencil icon, the flow that will be sent and when it will be sent. So if I want this to be sent tomorrow, I can just select it here, choose the time and click on save, okay? Now we'll be taking a look at sending with delay, okay? If I want the rule to be delayed, I can just select a time period. Let's say that I want this to be delayed by 2 hours. So after a 2-hour period, the flow would be triggered and it would be sent, okay? I also have the option of working with an event reminder, which is extremely useful. So I can just choose the event date here, and I can choose to add a new reminder item. So if I want the rule to send a flow that says, "Hey, my event will start in 30 minutes. Make sure you attend." I can just type here 30, select the option for minutes and select before, so that everyone who signed up for the event will be notified that it'll be happening soon, okay? And I have the option of repeating this rule every next days, okay? So I just select the number of days and let's say 3 days. So this rule would be applied every 3 days, okay? Pretty self-explanatory. As far as the bot for website goes, I can create a bot here and I'm just gonna write it to name it as tutorial for the only page I have, okay? I have the option of changing its name and making it start a flow if I want to, as well as the theme color. And what happens is when that person is on your website, this would be the message that they would see if they were logged in. But if they were not logged in, they would see this message, okay? And they could log in with their Facebook in order to communicate with the bot, okay? And I also have the display type here and the delay before the greeting dialog is shown. And once this is all edited according to your will, I can just click here on embed and copy the link you see here by clicking on copy to clipboard, okay? If you don't see the code here, all you gotta do is just click here on how, and you can see a step-by-step process of how you can connect your Facebook and a whitelisted domain, which is CU Inbox, which is the domain for this tool, okay? So once you go to your Facebook account and you whitelist this domain, all you gotta do is just refresh the Facebook chatbot and you'll be able to work with it, okay? Now that you've copied the code, we can just go back to the HTML editor and do the same process to paste that script onto your website's head tag, okay? You can just click here on my layouts, select the layout I'm working with, and click on the gear icon. And if I scroll down, I'll see the scripts tab, and I can just paste the code here and hit save again, and all those changes would be shown, okay? Now that this is done, we'll be taking a look at integration with Webinar, which is the only integration we have at the moment. If I click here on new integration, I can just select the application, enter the integration name, the page, and where those messages will be sent to. Okay, and I have a key here which can be used to so that that integration will work with the webinar app. Okay, and lastly, we'll be taking a look at the problems tab. The problems tab is a history of every bug, issue, glitch, you name it. Everything that happened that was not supposed to happen while you were using this tool inside Builderall, it'll be shown here, okay? Every information regarding that. So this could be really helpful information for us to troubleshoot the problems that you're encountering while you use this tool, okay? So make sure you let us know if something happened.